Hello and good evening for this Wednesday, March 6, 2024. We have just finished watching the second episode of Survivor 46 titled Scorpio Energy here on the Super Mater Brothers podcast. I'm Dave Mater, joined with a great panel once again to break down this episode, talk all about it. It was another 2-hour episode. Who can believe it? First up, we got the great Jaemeel Robinson with us tonight. How are you doing, Jaemeel?
Hello, we'll talk.
We'll talk about all this. We got Bananas Foster here, Josh Foster himself. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, better after Jameel's comment.
Good. Well, we're all cheering each other up here to talk yet about another episode of Survivor 46. A 2-hour episode, guys, as this Yanu tribe goes once again to tribal. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know, we will be talking all about this episode. 2 hours, guys. It was like a movie, another movie, because this wasn't even a premiere.
Are they slowly working us into a 2-hour every episode kind of thing? Like, what's going on here? Like, they just introduced an hour and a half last season. Like, this is not fair.
I don't. Yeah, I'm still pondering that myself. Quite frankly, I'm still trying to understand.
The good news is next episode is only an hour and a half.
Oh, thank God. Well, until the pre-merge, the merge, the after the merge, and then we go from there.
Right. This is, of course, a live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. You can hit us up with questions, your thoughts, and reactions to this episode. Of course, we have the great Sam Hinkton with us here for live. And yes, Big Brother Canada is going on, but this is not the Big Brother Canada podcast. But we are following that season, not in podcast form here on the network this season. It's a lot, guys. Hunter reminds got Dave vibes from Hunter. Well, interesting. And insulin people, they love us here on the channel. Green hearts, of course, all around.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, guys, okay, your reaction to this episode. Jaemeel, do you like a 2-hour episode of Survivor?
That isn't top of mind, actually. So if I can have the floor for a second.
You may, but yes. I would like to come back around to an answer if
okay. I haven't had that much luck in terms of the draft as of late, and for the most part, I've shown a lot of grace in my defeat. I've had people who have been removed from the game after seemingly the first episode due to drug dependency out of the blue coming along here. So now I have, as Dave mentioned before, spoilers, Jess is no longer part of this game. I would like to say and make a statement saying, I hope that no one from Yanu wins this game. I hope they get pagonged. This entire tribe, I wish nothing but bad things for the rest of the game for these individuals at all. They are a victim of their own situation, right? It is not Jess's fault that they lost. They lost because they were not good enough, right? They're putting all the blame on Jess when I see Kenzie doing the moving just as quickly, even slower than Jess, right? So I have yet to see a reason as to why Jess needs to be voted out outside that Kenzie is in good graces with people. And that's fine. People can do that. But they're acting like Jess is this complete buffoon, right? Kenzie didn't find an idol at all, right? The only thing that she's shown that she's good at is that she's able to work well with people. That's it. That is all. She has not contributed a damn thing to this. But yet we are given the impression, and she's somewhat has it in her mind, that she is doing this great and elaborate thing. I was rewatching the channel. She was doing jack in this, right? She is on Jack. Your girl's on Yanu. If it is Kenzie, Sam, sorry, bad taste. That is a bad thing on you. Shame on you, Sam. Right? Shame on you. I hope she gets voted out next. She's terrible, right? She has done nothing. I hope she gets voted out completely. I hope she gets embarrassed first and then voted out. That's how much I wish upon you, Sam. Sam, I like you. You're a good person, but still, too bad. You've made your choice, a bad one at that. I'll talk more about this as this episode goes on because I got a lot more to say.
Okay, well, we'll get
part of Jaemeel over here in the top right corner. Oh, geez, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna get all to that. Yeah, Foster, I wanted to know what your reaction to Jameel's statement was off the top.
Um, well, first of all, I can't compete with that fire. That was some passion in that speech. That was well done, Jaemeel.
Did it ring true? Did his comments ring true to you? Do you feel that his condemnation of this Yanu tribe is deserved?
I think yes and no. I think that I don't think that the blame should have been put all solely on Jess. I think that with Kenzie, she hasn't done anything in the sense that like she was around everything. She's been around everything, right? But like because she wasn't like she didn't get the idol, but it was Tiffany. Tiffany, yep. And then Q gave Jess the fake idol, right? So, but I think that I don't think Kenzie's the problem either. I think just as a tribe in general, they're just very dysfunctional, right? They're
victim
not
of their own design. They are a victim.
they're not. They don't have a string of three people on the same level. Like even like you thought for a second there that it was going to be Kenzie, Tiffany, and Q running the show, and then Q, in this episode's like, oh, I'm gonna run with Jess or pretend to run with Jess and Banu and see if we can if I can get the votes that way, right? So it's like there's not enough. Like, it's a 6-person alliance. If you don't even have 3 people on the same page, you're not going to be successful at all, right? Like, and that's just going to go throughout the challenges. So, like, they're going to get decimated again next week, and like, unfortunately, that's just a matter of just it's either a combination of personalities not matching up, backgrounds, or in general just how they're playing the game. So it's just it's I don't think it's the producer's fault because there's always one team. It seems like, well, at least the last 2 seasons now, if you want to be recent. But at the same time, they're not going to win if they continue to not be on the same page.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think my big takeaway from this episode was that not this Yanu tribe, but I think maybe this cast more in general is a really kind of wacky bunch here we're dealing with this season. I think we're in store for some interesting hijinks. I think that this is potentially going to be a bit of not a pagonging but a gong show outright, and I think that this is only the example, but even just the way they're editing it and presenting it to us is sort of like that. People are getting their feet run over by carts. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of people hit their head in the clouds.
Okay. If she's really hurting, she should have seen a medic. We should have seen a medic come out. Right? She's just being dramatic, in my opinion.
Dave, be glad that Venus wasn't on Yanu because she'd be where Jess is.
Venus is a prize in this game, everybody. She is the first overall pick in our draft. She's still in this game, unlike Jess, and she actually lives in Canada. So she's a Canadian sweetheart. We're all cheering for her here in Canada.
So are you telling me you wouldn't be cheering on Daryl then?
No, I'm just
saying you're throwing it out there. I'm just saying, would you be cheering for Daryl?
No, I'm throwing it out there just to hype up Venus. But
okay.
I'll be real about it. But it's Venus. She's on the outs on her Yami tribe. Is that right? Yami or Yani? The orange tribe. Nami. Sorry, Nami. I should know that. Nami, where she's not quite fitting in. She's not, particularly with Devin. We see in this episode that they have a relationship. However, Nami still wins this challenge today, and so they haven't had to go to tribal council. But if they did, you would imagine that Venus is on the bottom of this orange tribe. Foster, any thoughts on the orange, maybe the orange tribe overall, and how they were presented in this episode?
Yeah, like I don't. Well, first of all, we'll get to the challenge, but I just want to say that I have a real kind of issue with the way that I guess I don't know where for Will Cox is the last. With Laura, Jess, what's the first name?
Liz.
Liz. The way that she presents herself and the way that she goes out of her way to talk about her successes and her business, like it's very, it rubs me the wrong way, and it's not a good reflection of you as a person, because that's not something that, like, you're basically saying that's like all you're about, that's all you care about, and you're kind of shoving it, like it's just it's very over the top, and it's very it's very I don't know, it's very uneasy.
Like there are some big personalities in this Orange Tribe between Tevin, and there's Liz, of course, as you're mentioning here, Venus, and sorry, is it Soda, Randon, who lost his vote in this episode because he found that Beware challenge. He knew he was probably going to lose his vote. How could you not if you've not been following the last few seasons? And he's going to get a clue to it, but we didn't see that resolved in this episode, did we? Like anything with him getting the
he won't get
idol?
the clue until after he loses. After the
they haven't lost. Correct. You're right, quite right. Okay, and they haven't lost. So and then you've got what's his name? Hunter, who my lookalike over here on the Orange Tribe, and then of course Tevin. This is an interesting group in itself. This is an interesting 6 personalities to put together, and it's been they've been fighting. Like there was the dynamic in this episode with Soda and Venus fighting over the immunity idol. And like who got to hold it first and everything else when Jeff handed it to him. There's a little grabby, some pettiness, some childish behavior, perhaps some dramatic. And then of course you got Liz, who's kind of an interesting character in her own right, who sat out of this challenge, ends up talking over to what's her name? It's one of Amanda's picks, I think. Is it not Liz? No, sorry. Who am I thinking of? The other one who sat out here. Well, maybe that's a good segue. Let's talk about did we lose Jaemeel?
Oh, did we lose Jaemeel? Oh.
Okay. Well, he'll be back, but
okay.
Yeah. Hopefully
just a hiccup.
Just a hiccup?
He'll be back.
Let's talk about the Green Tribe, the Siga tribe here.
Oh, they're cruising.
They're cruising. They're doing all right.
They're like, they have no drama. They've got like they're in the middle ground, right? Like they've got the wins. Like we'd have no idea outside of is it Jaemee, top right?
Charlie.
Well, I'm off tonight, guys, with my names, but he's my pick too. I should know.
He's your pick too. Yeah, you should know his name.
Right? It's just
okay. That's a little more like he's on your team. He's on Team Foster here.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, he's got with the women, and then he's got with the guys, and Maria, right? Is the
so. Right? We saw what was kind of demonstrated throughout this episode was there's kind of like Charlie and Maria are sort of in the middle, and then you got the Maria and Mariah, I guess, on one side, and then you got the guys like Ben and Tim on the other with this group in terms of how like the voting dynamics are working at the moment here. And so it seemed like Charlie and Maria were sort of, I don't know, the swing votes, and they could go either way. And it seemed like Maria maybe preferred to keep the guys over the girls long term. So we'll see how this plays out. Although there was also the Charlie's Angels dynamic shown here, where Charlie, if he does go with Maria, if him and Maria do go with the girls, then it will be Charlie's Angels, and that will be the alliance. But he doesn't really like that because he'd be at the bottom. But if they do it the other way and go with Ben and Tim. I don't know who's on the bottom, or if it just becomes a 2-pair alliance. And I guess maybe that is better actually overall. Any thoughts there?
Sorry, can you repeat that last thing? I was reading the comments. Sorry, can you repeat that last one comment?
Well, it just like I just was working through the logic of, is it better if you're Charlie and Maria to go with the guys or the girls in this particular split if they end up at a tribal council? We'll see what they do next week. There was no indication.
I think it's a week to week thing. Like right now, like if they were to lose next week, I think that they would go with voting at one of the women. And I think that's just more from a strength perspective. At this early stage in the game, like you want to still be able to get second at least in the challenges to at least get the immunity right as best as you can, right? So
Right.
if the guys aren't making any waves, then or they're not, and they're proving themselves, then there's no reason to cut them, kind of thing, right? So this early in the game, if you will, when there's 3 teams available. But if it's not next week, the week after, so I'd say maybe 3. So maybe like just before the merge, like because once again we've seen in the last one, what was the one tribe that it was all 6 of them made the merge? Or the 5 of them made the merge?
I think that even happened in a recent season. Yeah, you're right. Jaemeel, you're back. I'm sorry. It says internet down. He's maybe with us. Let's how maybe he's.
I don't know if can you tell? Can't hear him.
He's trying his best.
Okay, we'll hear him soon.
Yeah, he's coming to us from satellite here, remote location. But yeah, hopefully he'll be able to catch up with us here. Yeah, I think that. But overall, the green, everything with the Green Tribe in this 2-hour episode was kind of chill. It was kind of whatever. There was a few dynamics, but it was mostly like fine. It focused quite a bit on Ben and him and the music. Him and Ben and Charlie talk about the Taylor Swift stuff. Taylor Swift versus Metallica, and who had
we did not need that in a 2-hour episode. They could have cut that out to save us more time.
They could have made this episode 90 minutes easily. They could have made this episode an hour, and it would have been substantially the same. I appreciate getting a little bit more content, so I'm willing to compromise on 90 minutes. But 2 hours, you're taking it too far here, guys. This is like some sporting events last shorter than this. Foster, where do you stand?
Oh, I think I said it earlier in the podcast, right? Like 2 hours is. For the second episode, like it's unneeded. You have it for the first episode, fine. You have it for the merge, fine. You have it for, like even maybe the pre-merge or whatever, right? Like fine. But you don't do it like second episode is not like anything special. It's not like they had 2 challenges, one for reward, one for immunity. Like it just was like it was
all
like
one,
30, yeah. It was like 30 minutes into it, and it was just like what have we accomplished this episode? Nothing. We just heard some getting to know these people a little bit, right? And I think that they need to present that more in the confessionals rather than the
these montages.
Yeah, and then
hear about Taylor Swift and Metallica albums. I was bored.
Okay, well. It was interesting. They got up into the 70s, Jaemeel. Could you not even appreciate the quantity?
No, they got into the 107s or whatever, 106 and whatever.
Even more than I thought. Okay, there you go. So but still. Oh, well.
No, still didn't like it.
Okay. Well, it was. I could have done without it myself. I think when you're out there, and they're so bored and they have nothing to do, of course they can. He was like, normally I would never do this, but I'm on Survivor. I'm just talking to this guy, and all we're going to talk about is Taylor Swift songs versus Metallica songs, and we're going to see who can remember more. And I think the Taylor Swift guy. I didn't know Taylor Swift had as many songs as Metallica. That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realize there was that many either, but I guess she has been around for
impressive?
A long time.
Metallica's been around a lot longer. Impressive?
Well, when she allegedly writes majority of the stuff, yeah.
Metallica was around for they're still around.
Yeah, but the only reason Ben didn't know the albums that were terrible, whereas Charlie is under the impression that Taylor Swift has never made a bad album.
Oh, I don't believe that. I'm not a Swift fan at all. So I'm sorry, folks, but I just don't listen to her music. So it is what it is. But it's
got a couple bangers.
They did not need to have that in the episode.
Dave, don't use the word banger, please. Stop. please.
Does this work? Am I too old for it? Is that why?
Bruce Banger.
The bangers. Okay, guys, let's talk about another banger, the Purple Tribe, who lost tonight. Of course, Jess voted out. They lost this challenge. You got Q, you got Kenzie, you got Banu, and you've got Tiffany. What a crew, even in their outright here, having lost Jelinski in the previous episode. There's that whole moment in this one here where Banu screams at Jess, which I had to.
Another piece touchdown.
It's intense. Jess of it all. I know, Jaemeel, you've kind of said your piece, I think, so I don't know how much more you would want to add to the.
I would like people to go back and look how many pieces Kenzie actually held up. Because at times Jessica was holding up 3 pieces at the same time, whereas Jessica would be standing right beside Tiffany, only holding up 1 piece.
Well, yeah, like I think that they would have been better off with Jelinski in this challenge, would they not have? You know, like
unless he would give up.
Jelinski might have given up. He might have, who can do this? It's too hard. It's too big and wide. But I think having a big tall guy versus, they could have voted out Kenzie last time. No, they would.
When we're looking at this image, Kenzie's holding up 4 pieces.
She actually is. If you look at this particular image, which I did not pull intentionally, Jaemeel, this is just a random still.
Sure.
She's
pull up a Jess holding up a ton of pieces picture too.
Okay, let's see. It got a little shaky here in the middle. I think it was mostly Jess. I think they were right to cut her.
No, I think that was the right decision too.
I think you have to accept it, Jaemeel. I'm
they
sorry.
I know she's going to use Jelinski this week, eh?
This one would have Jelinski. He's so tall. He was way taller than anybody else on this cast.
So they could have voted out Kenzie last week,
right? Or they could have voted out Jess last week, and still had him here. Was this fun to watch? This challenge for you, Jaemeel? Did you have fun watching it?
It was a good challenge, mind you. It was a very challenging challenge.
Yeah, like a long obstacle course.
It was interesting to see the team dynamics that were at play with one team versus the other. And then at the same time, the only time this challenge really got annoying is when Liz kept shouting "Nammy, Nammy, Nammy" over and over again.
Oh my goodness! Like that's what I'm saying. Like just obnoxious.
You can do it. You can do it. You can. And she was going hard, but there was also that moment where she was. Sorry, who is it from the Green Tribe that was sitting out for the in this one? Was it Maria or Mariah? Was it Mo? It was Mo, right? Mariah. It's like, hey, I'm Mo. Hey, I'm Liz. I feel like those two in the merge are going to be a thing, and I feel like this is what this episode was setting up. Mark my words. I'm on the record here. This whole thing where they had to build the cart, Jaemeel, and then they had to take it through the obstacle course, and poor Venus got her foot run over by her team who did not listen to her, and she was mad by the end of this. Her toe was run over. Now I was like, show me the toe, Venus. I want to see the bruising. I want to see how bad this injury was.
She told them go left, and they weren't going left.
Yeah, but if this is I don't know, I guess I get why she's annoyed by it, but how bad was this? Was she hurt? Is what I also want to get to the bottom of, or was she just more? Ow, that was not nice. No reaction.
So if they lost a challenge, because she couldn't keep standing on her foot because her foot was in pain,
right?
Whose fault would have been? She probably still would have gotten blamed.
Yeah, well, I think when the rest of the group, when you're not jiving with the most of the people, even if you're in the right, it doesn't really matter because it's kind of like the court of public opinion, Foster, and there's no fighting it. The tribe, you're on the outs with the tribe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Did we see this challenge before, Jaemeel?
Yeah, this challenge has happened a couple of times.
With this, with this arch thing.
Yep.
Okay. It had commercial breaks in it. It was really long, but it was mostly what we saw here. Okay, there was a lot of, after it was over. Like Tiffany was very upset. She was starting to yell. Banu was very animated, in particular. He got really upset. There was
if it wasn't for Jess, I guess being somewhat more obvious, Bandy should have gone home.
Right. I feel like they would have. I feel like they almost decided to vote him out tonight at the end when like he went on his little rant at Tribal, and I don't think that was planned or expected. I feel like Banu really was just. They're like, what is with this guy? But the plan. He even turns to Kenzie, and at the end he goes, Kenzie, who should I vote for? And she's like, whoever you want to. You know, she's just. That's not the game.
Patronizing him.
Well, yeah, but that's not the game Kenzie's here to play. She's not here to play this crazy, like, sort of emotional game. She's here to play more of a conventional game. And Banu, but Banu's here to play Banu. You know, he's here to be himself, to throw his emotions in. He was quite something tonight, Tribal. I gotta say, one of the more animated things I can remember in recent memory, where you have these more safe, conservative players who don't want to put all their cards out there at Tribal, and that's kind of what this episode starts off with. Is them talking about how Banu kind of almost told Jelinski he was the one going home, but what does it really matter? Like, unless again, they're always worried about the shot in the dark, and they're like, we can't let the person know. We can't let the person know who's going, that they're the boot, because then they're going to play the shot in the dark, and then I could go home randomly, and I just can't have that. So I have to play this kind of more vicious deception in the early stages of the game. And I guess I'm left wondering, is that a good thing for the Survivor game overall? Is the shot in the dark a good convention, or it doesn't really matter? Would this treatment still continue within the tribe?
I think it's fine, but I don't understand why they put so much like into it, because like it's only happened twice now, right? So, or once, I don't know, so one of the two. So I don't understand what the threat so much is, as much as like the way they talk about it, right? Like it's not like it's like a 50-50 chance or whatever, right? It's very low odds.
It's a 1 in 6. It's not even a 50.
It's high. It's like, Canadian.
Yeah, it's like
it's high odds if you're Canadian.
Yeah, that's about it. But it's ultimately like you have a pretty low chance. But people don't like to, most people are not gamblers, and I guess like that's the idea, is like, no, we can't allow this person, so that you see them having to try to convince Liz in this, or not Liz, sorry, who got voted out here? Sorry guys, brain fart. Jess. This is why Jess ultimately is given this fake idol by Q, and she plays it, and then it doesn't work because it was fake, and she kind of knew it was fake, but she felt like she had nothing left to lose, and she was kind of presented as this moron. Like they tried to like get it to plant it so she would find it, but she couldn't even find it. Oh, this could be... Okay, we're back, everybody. Sorry about that if you're just joining us. This is part 2 of our live stream here on Wednesday, March 6, 2024, as we're talking about the second episode of Survivor 46, titled Scorpio Energy. We've already talked about this for 28 minutes on a live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, but it went dark for no apparent reason. So we're here back again. I'm Dave, back with Jaemeel Robinson and Josh Foster, guys.
I blame Sam. I think Sam somehow hacked it into our stream and turned it off because I came back and started talking about Kenzie again.
Karma. This.
Yeah, was it about? It was about the Kenzie stuff. Yeah, it was when we were starting to talk about the karma and all those kinds of things, guys. Well, just when we were about to go down, I was about to say, well, even though this episode was 2 hours, I feel like it was kind of just a longer version of what we normally get. It was just like we saw what was going on with the individual tribes leading up to the challenge, and then we had the challenge itself, and then there was the sort of a little bit of the aftermath, a little bit with like Nami and Siga, but mostly, of course, focused on Yanu as they were headed to tribal council, and then we had the tribal council itself, and that was it. And then the episode was over. I don't know if I And I don't know what else to expect, but like as we covered the plot of the episode, it felt like, well, yeah, in the first hour this happened, and in the second hour this happened, but overall it was kind of like just longer segments of what we would normally have. Would you guys agree with me on that?
Yeah.
I guess it's less. So they don't have to be as selective about what they show us. They give us a lot more of these dynamics, what's going on with the different tribes. But and mostly what that I feel like that nets out to in these segments is you get to see who's on the bottom and how they're kind of dealing with being on the bottom, whether they know it or not. Right. Well, more so in the case of Nami, less so in the case of maybe with Siga, which is more of a different power dynamic. That still has to see how that's going to play out if they do go to tribal council. But there was no indication here, guys, that we're going to any kind of a tribe swap in the preview for the next episode.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a challenge next week, presumably, where you're gonna have two people sitting out of each challenge. Well, at least in the case of Siga and Nami, not for Yanu, of course. They'll have to play all their people. But if somehow Yanu ends up losing again, what happens then?
Banu goes to Kenzie and calls her a mermaid dragon.
He did call her a mermaid dragon in this preview, guys. I think that's a good segue. Let's look at the episode for next week, guys.
People think Hunter's a really sweet dude. I can see right through that facade.
Next time on Survivor. That's how you do it. Wow.
Is that a boat?
Oh my god, this is out of control.
I need some help, Kenzie.
She's like this mermaid dragon.
So there's probably going to be a raid the camp type of thing, right?
Mermaid dragon is how he describes her.
Yeah.
Do you think they would want to lose on purpose just to vote out Banu and not bring him into any kind of a merge situation? Imagine there is a tribe swap and you're like Kenzie and you end up with Banu. Like after tonight, like would you want that? Is he's your ride or die?
For Kenzie?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, if you're her. Oh no, you hate Kenzie now. I forgot. Yeah, you're all.
I didn't say I hate Kenzie.
You're just about her demise.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
But so from her perspective, it would be terrible. It would also be terrible if she's with Q too, because I'm pretty sure Q is going to throw her under the bus. And the fact that Tiffany knows that Q would throw her under the bus, Tiffany has to start making some decisions going forward. See, with people like Banu have always been in the game from time to time, those good-hearted individuals who, wear their heart in their sleeve. It's typically they partner up with someone that kind of shepherds them through the game. And unfortunately, in this tribe, in their tribe, there's no one there that is willing or able to do that for him at all. Because you see, he feels like he is like being strung around, like he's on a rope behind the entire tribe, about to fall off into the precipice, right? And that's why he went and he begged them, like, tell me, what am I supposed to do? Include me, right?
Right.
That's you are setting yourself up. If they were going to go and vote out Jess, they needed to lock in Banu. And the fact that they did not do that, that just tells you how bad this team is.
Maybe they did lock in Banu, but then he just went off anyway.
Once again, I stated there's been players like Banu before, and they are managed, and he does not look managed.
Would you compare him to like a Philip, or is he not that type of a player?
Not even Philip. Even what was your dude a couple seasons ago? Very good-natured, hardworking, South Asian immigrant individual.
Oh yeah, I think I still have him on the soundboard somewhere.
But you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? Foster, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like people like him need to be managed, right? And assured, right? for the betterment of the team. He is a hard worker, strong. Like, you want him to be included. If you're going for the strongest team possible, you would want Banu to be there. You got to teach him.
Yeah, like he definitely, like, once again, like we notice with this shorter seasons, there's, you know, at the beginning of each game, there's a select few individuals that go too hard. And if you have the unlikelihood, or not unlikelihood, sorry, the unfortunate of having it twice in a row at the beginning, like the last two survivors, then the people, like, you start to panic, right? And you start to play your game too early, because you're kind of forced to, but at the same time, you're not also composing yourself to kind of let the situation still play out, right? And what's interesting is that in this tribe this season, there's more than one kind of apparent option at all times, if you will, even though the vote is maybe more obvious.
Right. Jaemeel, you're thinking of Nasir.
Nasir.
Yeah.
That's music to my song.
Music to myself. All right.
Smells really good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. That's music to my song.
They play it twice.
Always something new, and it's never easy. You have to work hard to get it.
Have to fuck hard to do. Yeah. I think they have very different temperaments, I would say, those two guys.
Banu is has a lot more fire in his belly.
Banu is just like, I feel like he's losing his mind a little bit. I think he's going crazy, not slowly, fast. And
I think that's because he's not being assured.
I think it's because he's not eating when he's used to eating. So I think that that's part of it. We already looked ahead to the next episode. That's just
that interruption really threw off our whole order sequence of events.
Well, it did throw us off. You know, we're here on our part 2 of this recap, guys. I think we need to talk a little bit more about Jess and just what did she do right and what did she do wrong in this game. You know, Jaemeel, like, I know she was your pick, and she's from the 6, and you were hoping she would be able to, you know, do it, and she got some moments on this episode. But, you know, let's have a look at her exit interview before you expand on her and see what we can see.
I got. Those people are masterminds. That was incredible. So if there's anything I could take away from my experience, it's that I should have started strategizing at the very beginning. But I had an amazing time playing Survivor. I really enjoyed getting to know everybody. I've had a blast out here. Even though, like, my face might not convey it, I don't have enough calories to smut.
Masterminds, guys. Masterminds.
She's a lot nicer than me. She is a lot nicer than me. Is what I'm saying.
They are incredible at this game. She can't even think without her calories. You know what's going to happen.
I'm sorry. I just find, like, a lot of this laughable because you're on this huge island and they're like, we're gonna put this in the rock and we're gonna try to lead her to it. Like, how are you guaranteeing that someone is going to go to a specific area, to a specific, like, opening to find this thing?
Well,
right?
They would have found it. According to them, it was obvious. They didn't think much of Jeff's searching abilities.
Dave, when I hide things myself, I'm pretty sure I can find it too. Right? It's their statement means, like, nothing. Right?
I don't disagree. I think that they were a little, and I think it was a little mean to say Jess is an idiot. She can't even find this thing we obviously hit in the wall so that we could trick her into thinking she has an idol. You know, like, I don't know. There was a lot of unsavoriness. And guys, yesterday was March. Today is March 6th, guys. And is Jaemeel? Do we have a new Jaemeel? We'll see if our stream is intact.
It says it's still live.
We're still live for the moment, guys. Well, while we're live, today is actually Jess's birthday. It is March 6th.
Well,
her episode, the episode where she's voted out, airs on her birthday, and she's a fellow Pisces in an episode called Scorpio Energy.
I'm just saying, if there's any live events, with how you were acting towards Jess earlier on, I don't know if you're going to be welcome at this live event party.
We're fellow Pisces, Jaemeel, Jess and I.
I'm just saying.
I'll say Pisces power. She'll agree. You know, like, okay, the indignity here suffered on Pisces as Jess in this episode where she's voted out is called Scorpio Energy. Foster, what's your response?
I think it was kind of underlined that she was going home and no one figured it out.
Yeah, but like, and they were like, well, we can't vote her out. She's a Pisces, and the episode's called Scorpio Energy.
Oh, sorry, like that. Oh, then they missed an opportunity.
They missed a huge opportunity. I think that this was.
Who said the line? Who said Scorpio power?
I actually don't even know who said it.
I missed it. I must have missed it.
Foster, do you have any idea who said the words Scorpio Energy in the episode or the line?
No.
Memorable line.
Well, in a 2-hour episode, like, who can even, like, it's so easy to miss it. It could have come at any point.
Unless, you know what? I bet it was Ben. who said it. Wasn't Ben who said he was a Scorpio?
I'm gonna look that up in a second, guys. Liz actually Liz and I share the same birthday, March 18th, which we also share with Jameel's mother.
Yes.
For that matter, and JG Hertzler and some other people.
Okay. So out of those 3 people, the 4 people that you mentioned, I like 3 of them.
Fellow Pisces. I gotta back him up. Okay, Ben. We were asking what Ben was. Ben is a Aries, guys.
Aries.
He was already talking about being an Aries.
So he was okay. Astrology came out last episode where he said it was an Aries. Who said they were a Scorpio?
I'm gonna have to go through the whole cast to figure out who the Scorpio is.
Foster, any thoughts? Do you think it's Venus? That's a Scorpio?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna say randomly Charlie.
Charlie is not a Scorpio. Charlie is a Capricorn.
I think it's Venus.
No, that would be she's a Libra.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah is a Pisces as well.
Ooh.
Well, that's there you go, guys. Mariah and tonight and Liz, fellow Pisces, their birthdays only 4 days apart. One born March 14th, one March 18th, just like me and Ashley Millard. And that has to tell you that they're going to be great friends and allies in this game. Pisces power all the way to the end. Can you dispute it?
I think time's gonna tell, Dave. I think time's gonna tell. Not to say that Ashley's gonna like wait till your back's turned and stab you or anything. I'm just saying, you and Ashley, Dave and Ashley, for real. Mariah and Liz, not for real.
Okay. Banu is a Scorpio, guys.
Really? Okay.
Kenzie is not. Q is also a Pisces. There's a lot of Pisces power in this cast, guys.
Foster, isn't that amazing?
Jeez,
Tiffany is a Aquarius. Guys, this is incredible data we're getting here. What do you guys? What would you be a prediction for Hunter?
Hunter's a Leo.
Hunter's a Leo. I would imagine he is. No, Pisces. Fellow Pisces.
I should have known. Foster, I should have known.
Guys,
the signs were all there.
Randon is not a Pisces. He's a Libra. We got Soda's an Aries. Much like
what makes Pisces so great? Can you describe why Pisces are so great?
Born between February 20th and March, basically, and we're the best. And then April 20. This starts right now. We're in the season of Pisces at the moment, Jaemeel.
What do you mean, like are Pisces, nimble and smart and have
nimble,
integrity?
Smart. Integrity. We have all those things and more. Just keep, wait. Some of us with more than others, but it varies. But generally we do have all those things.
Dave, do you feel that Jess has let the Pisces community down?
Has Jess let the Pisces community down? No, she's bringing it back on Big Brother Canada 12 as she's one of the mystery house guests. Spicy V. She's spicy Pisces.
No, I said is Jess.
Oh, Jess.
Not
Who's
Spicy V.
Spicy V also a Pisces, I believe. Who's Jess? Oh, Jess. Jess is a Pisces. I don't even remember her.
Jess, who is she? Oh, forgotten character. I don't know who Jess is. We just watched this episode. 2 hours we spent. Like,
yeah, I needed that moment. That's who we're talking. That's what we're covering here, guys. Yeah. Well,
final thoughts, Jaemeel. My final thoughts.
Your final thoughts.
Okay. I still stand behind my pick of Jess. I wish she did better. Unfortunately, she did not. She at least lasted more days on. Wait, did she? No, she still lasted less days than Francesca, but she only got voted out once. She survived 2 tribal council. She survived 1 tribal council. That's more than Francesca ever did. So therefore, she's not the worst player of all time. Team Jess.
All right. Any final thoughts from you, Foster?
Let's hope it's not another massacre next week.
Okay. Have you been watching any Big Brother Canada 12? Foster?
It started? I didn't even know.
Look, I'll be perfectly honest, Dave. I'm like, oh, we finished our draft. I had no clue when the episode started. I thought it was starting tonight. And people were telling me, you sent me a message saying, oh, your pick showed up. I'm like, really? They had digital dailies already out. I didn't even know that.
They came out swinging at 7:00 p.m. yesterday with the premiere. And there's an episode on tonight. It probably just finished. Actually, it was happening when we were on here. But we're not covering that here every episode. But, we're still doing our draft and cheering it on and all those kinds of things. And, I don't know if can I spoil who the mystery people are? I already kind of told you, Jaemeel. One of them.
You said the one. I don't know who they are, to be honest, but who's the other one?
One Spicy V. From
no clip 11. Or video no clip or audio that you have from Spicy V.
Oh, you know. How about this one?
This pitch sucks.
Yeah.
I am so good at this game.
Foster, from that line, do you think she won?
No, but I think she was in the Wendy's thing last season.
She was in the Wendy's.
She was in the Wendy's.
She's went from Wendy's.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing her.
She was like the first jury boot, I think, in her season, wasn't she?
Remember, she was the invisible HOH and almost put herself up.
Yeah, she wasn't a good player. Like, she was.
She was an exciting. Yeah, she was an exciting player. Her messing with Tara.
They were calling all-star legend. I was like, can we just put this in perspective, please? I get she's big in the community, but
did you want the Rose show to come back?
No, but I was just like, can we just Kevin Martin's legends and that kind of thing. But no, Spicy V. This is our chance.
Kevin Martin, my issue was, sorry for the Big Brother talk, folks, is that I was concerned that the people, when they were talking about All-Star Legends, I'm like, majority of the All-Star Legends have already played twice, or you don't want to see them play again. I don't necessarily want to see Big Brother 10 winner. Sorry, is it Big Brother 10? Kevin. It's either 10 or 9. I think it's 9. Big Brother 9 winner Kevin to play again.
I don't think it's to play again either. But I'm just saying how you're labeling these returning players, and so it's and the other one is Anthony. So the runner-up from season 9. Right?
No, right? He 7. Yeah, with what's his name? With the
Jane.
Yeah, with the lack of teeth. Yes.
Yeah. The pretty boys and all that.
Yeah, the pretty boys.
Yeah. So all that, guys. So anyway, Big Brother side, but
I'm more excited about the season because of the inclusion of those two players, because I will say that the cast wasn't that interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. So anyway, that's our big brother talk here on the part 2 Survivor. If you're still with us, bless you.
Bless you.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Thanks to Foster. This has been a late one, guys. This was a 2-hour episode of TV. We have to talk about. We had 2 sessions here, and I feel like we've done our duty, and we can get off the air here tonight and get out of here. So with no further ado, make sure to check out our other podcasts on the United Federation of Podcasts, a network of podcasts with all kinds of different shows. Tomorrow I'll be on my son's podcast, Aiming on Track, a music podcast, talking about the very best of Stan Rogers, a great Canadian folk singer.
Foster, who's your favorite Stan Rogers song? What's your favorite Stan Rogers song?
You don't even know. It's okay.
I can't. I don't. I'm too tired to come up with a Woody joke.
Check out the show tomorrow and learn all about it. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised to find out you like this song.
Can you name 106 songs from Stan Rogers?
Can you say his name straight without laughing? I don't know. It's a tough one.
Is it Steve Rogers?
I'm a little awake.
Steve Rogers.
And welcome to the newest member of the United Federation of Podcasts. It's called Hey, Did You See This One?
It's a movie podcast where the 2 lead individuals, Jason and Stephen
Waters.
Stephen Waters. They talk about a movie each week. They usually do 4 per month, where they are wondering if you've seen this one, and you join them on the journey as they go through a little bit of nostalgia as they try to remember these classic films, both good and bad.
Yeah. Well said, Jaemeel, and welcome to the network here on the United Federation Podcast. And with that said, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Did I tell you? Oh, I just gotta tell you the story. I listened to this Mike Bloom podcast. I already told Jaemeel about this, Foster, but I'll tell you about this. So Jeff Probst asked the cast to Survivor 46 when they got out on the beach. This wasn't on the show. Like when they're first out there together and they can talk. He goes, "I have a question for you. If you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, does that mean you're strong or are you weak?"
Like what?
I'm trying to process the question. I don't even know about an answer yet. Like,
if you punch yourself in the face and and it hurts, are you strong or are you weak?
What? I understand. I understand the question. I just don't understand. I just don't know how to. That's confusing.
This old school Survivor. That's when we inflicted a little more pain.
Yeah. Are you strong because you are so strong that you punch yourself that you hurt yourself, or are you weak that you took a shot from yourself and you couldn't handle it?
But then, does that mean that you're weak because you weren't strong enough to hurt yourself?
Oh, that's true.
It's a paradox.
I don't think we're thinking about it the same way, but that's okay. I'm too tired.
It's a never-ending loop here, guys. That's how Probst does it. And with that, we'll leave you with a quote by him, Jeff Probst. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks to Jaemeel and Foster, and to everyone here who stuck it out with us in both sessions. Have a good night.
Because that is what Survivor is about. It is about pushing yourself to your personal limit and then seeing if you got one more step.
See you next time, everyone.